Sometimes with new administrations, there's something called 100 days of action. Britain recently, there's 100 days of disaster with Labour in there. Kennedy, there's 100 days of success. John Capobianco is a big shot Tory and a student of politics, and he joins me right now because I want to put the question to you. I think the Tories are going to win whenever the election is, whenever Trudeau can, find himself at the end of the line. Will there be a whole bunch of activities saying all those things the Liberals did wrong, and God knows there's a fistful of them, trying to do everything at once? Or are they going to be like a sniper and say, well, we can deal with this by regulation, we don't want to have to change this legislation? That's the machinery of government, that's politics. Tell me.
I would say, Stephen, that in practice, if you're a government that gets in with a majority government, do as much as you can, as fast as you can, as early as you can. And
how can you do that just going into government and not knowing the underlying lay of the land?
Well,
or are they preparing for that now?
Well, I would say that they're preparing for that now. I think that Pierre, who's been in government and in opposition, knows government's operations pretty well. The people around him know government fairly well, and they know the operations quite well. And I would imagine that some of them are even getting involved in transition now as we speak, in preparation for an election that could be this year or next year. So I would say, Mike Harris used to say to me afterwards, after he became Premier, he said, my only regret was not doing more faster at the beginning. Because when you've got the momentum and you've got people behind you who just elected you and there's a bit of a honeymoon period, there's an opportunity for governments to get as much stuff done as they possibly can before things wane. And more importantly, maybe actions internationally take over, and you might not have the time to do stuff domestically as you should.
But so there's a lot of political goodwill that you can use, but then we talked about a lot of it may be the preparation well in advance. I know that before before an election, civil servants will sit down with the opposition, and there's massive briefing books. And somebody on the leader's staff is sitting there saying, we're getting ready. Even we may not win, but we're getting ready in case we do win. But so you're saying it could be like a shotgun, all kinds of stuff going on with inexperienced ministers? Or is it going to be more selective, like axe the tax,
build the homes,
build the housing?
I would say that there's similarities between what Pierre's talking about now and what Mike Harris did in 1995 when he became Premier. And that is, Mike Harris had a common sense revolution, a common sense approach to government, because there was 9 years of Liberal NDP governments prior to him getting in. And he did 4 or 5 key bullets. One was work for welfare, the other one was tax cuts and so forth. So he had specific policy issues that he wanted to do that got him elected. Pierre's doing the same. You mentioned it, axe the tax, build the homes, stop the crime. These are things that he's been now talking about that's getting him popular with Canadians. So when he gets elected, those are things he's going to act on pretty quickly.
So those 4 points then are the keystones that he will have to act, or else the Ottawa journalists are going to say, hey, everybody elected you and you're doing nothing over there, which is what they're going to say anyway.
But I assure you, he will not do nothing. He will do something. I think he is on a mission, especially because after 9-10 years of Liberal government, he needs things to be fixed here in Canada.
We need a plumber in there. Flush it. John Capobianco, thank you. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.